Hello again, it's George Watkins from the Cincinnati School of Music, and today we're going to talk about the mother tongue method, developed by Dr. Shinichi Suzuki. And this is a way that he discovered to teach the violin to beginning students without the need of music. In a previous video we talked about the violin itself, and we also talked about pitch, how when we add fingers the sound is higher, and we even took a little test to see if we could recognize this. Now, as we recognize pitches and rhythm, which we'll talk about today a little more, we can play music without needing the music in front of us. For example, I used this song before. Now, that long and short sounds that you hear are what we call rhythm, the way that time is divided into differing segments. Some notes are long. If we wanted to play it that slow. Or this one. So in the mother tongue method, we know that babies learn how to speak by watching and listening to the sounds that they hear. And so what we're going to do today is talk a little bit about how to use these different elements of music and use our brain and our ears and to be able to play the violin. But first, we have to figure out where on this long piece of wood, how do we know where to put our fingers? You've probably seen tapes at certain places on the violin before, either in school or in some people's instruments. But tapes can move around, and they can get worn out and fall off. And we can become too dependent on tapes. So what I like to do is to use our own hand as a way of figuring that out. And the way that I teach my students without the use of tapes is to use their fingers. Now, where does my first finger go? It can go anywhere along here, but for our purposes today, it's going to go right here. How do we measure that? By using our thumb. At the end of the neck, if we put another thumb next to our thumb, in other words, if my thumb is one thumb away from the very end, that's where I'm going to start. And I'm going to put my finger right across from that thumb. So if I measure one thumb away and put my finger right across from it, I can play. So, where else does my finger go? Now this note, you can see that I have a little space between these two fingers. How big is that space? It's exactly one finger space away. So we have one thumb space here and one finger space here. And if I can do that, I can play this song. Twinkle, twinkle. And to help us build our rhythm as well as our pitch, we use a little phrase which you've probably heard before, Mississippi River. And so it sounds like this. Say it, Mississippi River. That's a variation of the Twinkle tune. If I play it, you can probably hear the tune in the background. So by combining our physical measurements with a thumb and finger, I can use my ear and train my ear just like babies do when they watch mom or dad say mama or daddy, and they learn how to speak and speak perfect language, whatever language their culture uses. And we use the same method called the mother tongue method in order to play. Now, I'm going to play the whole variation on the Twinkle tune and see if you can hear in the background the melody as I play it. Now we can use other little sayings like this one. One of my favorites is ice cream cone, because it teaches us not only about notes but about rests. So this one, ice cream cone. And what happens between the ice cream and the cone? You have to lick it, otherwise it becomes a big mess. So we do ice cream cone. So using all these elements, pitch, rhythm, using our brain and our memory, and knowing where to put our fingers and how to hold the instrument and the bow, then we can play music. So in the future, if you're interested in taking up the violin again, if you haven't played for years, or if you're just picking it up, I hope that you'll come and you'll find the website for the Cincinnati School of Music, and give us a call. We'd love to see you.